Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emi, and on today's video, we're going to talk about how to get gold early into the game. Many of the profitable farms and passive gold generation techniques aren't very effective for newer players, so today I wanted to cover some of the easier ways to make gold just after you've hit level 80 content. Before we talk about specific things you can actively do to make gold, I wanted to talk about ways that you're probably losing money without realizing. After that, we'll talk about basic advice as you're naturally playing the game, and then we'll end the video on specific events and strategies available even to a fresh level 80 player. One very big piece of advice is to understand the difference between buy price and list price. When you buy an item on the trading post, you have two options. You can either place an order or you can buy the item instantly. Buying an item instantly will cost more gold, but it will give it right away. Placing an order will cost less gold, but you'll have to wait for someone to sell at that price. Many players choose to instantly buy or instantly sell the items out of convenience, but being patient can save you hundreds of gold in the long run. Pieces of unidentified gear were added into the game to reduce clutter in players' inventories. As a result, these generic items are stackable and they take up very little space. Many newer players will instantly sell these on the trading post, but my recommendation to you is to identify the gear yourself. This is because there's a small chance you will get an item of greater rarity and thus greater profit. A notable example is the possibility of getting rare items when identifying common and uncommon gear, which can be salvaged for a chance of dropping globs of ectoplasm. In addition, the material salvaged can be used for different forms of crafting. Keep in mind, it is worth keeping an eye out for dedicated Guild Wars 2 websites that calculate the profit margins. In rare cases, it's sometimes better to sell instead of opening. There are certain types of currencies that are automatically added to your account's wallet. Beyond just liquid gold, there are many others like karma, spirit shards, and volatile magic that you can use to your benefit. For example, there are exotic and ascended gear vendors that are much cheaper than buying gear on the trading post or crafting it yourself. You can also convert these currencies, but that's in a later video. The most efficient use for crafting materials is to craft with them. That way you can take advantage of their entire value instead of losing 15% tax to the trading post. For example, if you're crafting a set of Ascended or Legendary gear, you'll likely need quite a few ectoplasm refined items like Deldrimar seal ingots or bolts of Damask. These are very easy to craft since you'll likely have a lot of materials from the salvaging discussed earlier. But in case you have materials that you're unlikely to use, it is worthwhile to sell them on the trading post for gold instead. An easy way to view everything you own is by accessing the bank's material storage tab, which is the second tab on the left. In addition, there are third-party tools such as Guild Wars 2 Efficiency that can track how much liquid wealth you're sitting on in your storage. Alright, now let's talk about basic advice that you should be doing as you play the game naturally. Every day at midnight GMT, the achievements in the dailies panel are reset. Completing any 3 of these achievements will instantly reward you with 2 gold, some spirit shards, and some achievement points. One of the best things about this system is that the maps involved in the daily achievements are often flooded with both new and veteran players. Friendly messmers often wait at the jumping puzzle locations and offer free portals. Mentors are happy to guide players to rich gathering nodes, and map chat is usually very active with players looking for events. On the other hand, if you enjoy Wolversworld or PvP, the achievements related to those are also easy to complete. Winning a single ranked PvP match will usually get you all 3 dailies, and there are some very low effort Wolversworld achievements that only take a few seconds to finish. When you're running around exploring and completing maps, make sure you pause to grab gathering nodes. These materials can be quickly deposited into your bank to conserve inventory space, but as we mentioned earlier in the video, materials are a great source of gold once you liquefy them. Not only that, certain types of harvesting tools give bonus effects. If you don't want to spend your money on gem store tools, there are some cheap harvesting tools purchasable with karma that can buff up your wallet. I personally recommend volatile magic. Credit for killing enemies in this game is shared, so that means you get your own loot drops and experience even if there are other people hitting the same target. Many events will also increase in difficulty as more players join, meaning both the rarity and the quantity of enemies will also increase. Doing enough damage to get kill credit is known as tagging, and it is always in your best interest to tag as many enemies as possible. Champion loot bags will drop when champion or legendary monsters die, and these often contain a variety of materials and account currencies, though the appearance of the bags may vary. In addition, tagging normal enemies will give you experience, which is helpful for generating spirit shards after you've reached the maximum mastery level. Spirit shards are necessary for legendary crafting, and there are Mystic Forge recipes that can convert low-value materials into greater value materials. Joining a guild is one of the best things you can do in this game. There are hidden perks that aren't talked about very often. For example, you can get reduced waypoint costs, free buffs from the guild tavern that last forever, and gathering synthesizers that reset daily for bonus materials. In fact, if you have guilds at different synthesizer levels, you can farm each guild hall separately for extra materials. Joining a guild can be tricky, but here are some recommendations. Potatoes Bathwater, Nya, is my community guild where I usually post schedule updates, upcoming videos, and in-game events. There are many other guilds that frequently advertise in global chat, and there are even subreddits like r guild recruitment that have active guilds looking for new players. Now let's talk about specific events or strategies that you can do to make gold. There are certain story instances in this game that will guarantee a Black Lion key upon completion. Two that are commonly done are the level 10 personal story and the season 2 episode 6 story. Completing each of these will guarantee a Black Lion key, but only once per week, which resets on Monday. These Black Lion keys can be used to open the Black Lion chests, which contain a variety of exclusive items. Included in these items are highly valuable contracts, some of which are worth several thousand gold. While it's not guaranteed that you'll get a massive drop, there are still a ton of great things that you can get from the chests. Black Lion statuettes can be redeemed for skins, harvesting nodes, boosters, and more. A common strategy is to create a new character, level that character to 10 to unlock the personal story, and then quickly finish the story for a Black Lion key. Meta events in Guild Wars 2 are defined as large-scale events that require organized player participation from different areas of the map. These events are usually timed, but a handy tool to have bookmarked is the Guild Wars 2 wiki event timers page. When the meta is about to start, you can use the Looking for Group tool to find an active map. Commonly run metas include the Matriarch Wyvern and Verdant Brink, the Choya Pinata and Crystal Oasis, the Chalk Garen and Tangled Depths, and the Octavine and Auric Basin. There are others, but these 4 that I mentioned are frequently the target of non-stop meta trains, which sequentially hit each boss or large-scale fight one after another. Successfully completing these events will award a daily chest that contains valuable materials, and some events will open up areas with numerous loot boxes to open. Not only do these loot boxes contain a very decent amount of unidentified gear and crafting materials, but some of these loot boxes also have a chance of dropping highly rare infusions that are worth thousands of gold on the trading post. If you haven't gone to expansion level content yet, or you're waiting because you want to avoid spoilers, you can kill world bosses spread throughout Corteria. There are frequently world boss trains led by guild commanders that hit every boss back to back. World boss trains can be a great source of loot, experience, and achievement-related collections, but keep in mind that having waypoints for these types of trains will be very helpful. Once again, you can use the Guild Wars 2 wiki event timers page, and definitely keep an eye out for the more difficult bosses such as Tequatl or the Leyline Anomaly. Tequatl has a unique loot table that includes ascended items, and the Leyline Anomaly can be done once a day for a Mystic Coin plus other forms of loot. Fractals of the Mist are level 80 dungeon content that has a high emphasis on puzzle solving and boss killing. Fractals are sectioned out into 4 tiers, each tier adding additional mechanics compared to the previous one. The lowest level, Tier 1, is the only one available to new players when they first start, and the majority of fractals at this level don't require agony resistance, which is a mechanic that becomes more important the more you progress. Even at the lowest tier, fractals are a great source of gold, and the fractals listed in the daily achievement panel give bonus rewards when completed. The LFG tool is a fantastic way to meet other players that are just breaking into endgame content, so don't be afraid of making your own group with your own party description. Tier 1 fractals are very beginner friendly, and it can be very rewarding to figure out the fractal with a group of like-minded individuals. Plus, Tier 4 fractals and their challenge mode versions are some of the most difficult, the most fun, and the most profitable pieces of content in the game. Every few months, Guild Wars 2 releases a holiday-specific festival, which have unique events, vendors, and items available, including festival-specific infusions that have a chance to drop from festival-specific loot bags. Methods to farm the loot bags are usually pretty lucrative early into the festival, but even after prices have dropped, they remain a consistent way to generate gold for players with very little investment into the game. For Halloween, the Mad King's Labyrinth can be a great way to farm both experience and trick-or-treat bags. For Winter's Day, the jumping puzzle gives a lot of karma and Winter's Day presents. For Super Adventure Box, you get a lot of headaches and pent-up frustrations. That's all I have for this video. If you would like to support the channel, please consider liking, subscribing, or commenting to tell me what you think. I am also an ArenaNet partner and I stream quite regularly on Twitch, so if you have any questions that you'd like answered, feel free to swing by and say hi. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next video.